Hello.
How's it going?
Good, Natasha. Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's a long time coming, but we're making it happen. That's the
Yes, yes, really looking forward to it. Yes,
so here on the One Self podcast, we share where wellness and purpose meet, inspiring you to grow intentionally and elevate your brand, business, and life. So I know you have a company called Life Building Legacy, so it just fits perfect right now. You know,
absolutely.
the mission of my brand as well. So
Yes.
I'm so happy to learn from you.
No, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Yes, yes. So, as you know, Fabiola owns Life Building Legacy, and today she's going to share a little bit about her professional background before she got to where she is today.
Yes. Well, I been working with life insurance and families and be helping them build their legacy for the past 5 years. Before then, I was with hospice, home health, and leading a sales team. So I've always been in the business of helping others, being able to create a good foundation for them. So just life insurance and helping them build a legacy is just part of who we are. How did I start? Well, it started with my personal life, being able to help myself,
Mhm.
and then at the end of the day, being able to help others as well.
Awesome. I love that. I love that. Um, my next question is, what does building a legacy really mean to you, and how do you define it?
Yes. Well, to me, building a legacy means living in a way that creates stability,
Mhm.
clarity, and opportunity for the people who come after us.
Mhm.
I did mention that I started life building legacy for my own, right? Emotionally, financially, and spiritually means a lot for my own self, and being able to share that with others is amazing. It's not just about leaving money behind. It's about, how you live every single day. I came to define, you know, working with families, being able to work with them is definitely knowing that there's more than just living okay. So
Yes, yes. And then, the nicest part of your job and career is that you see the change that happens in people when they're
yes,
protected. Because
exactly.
you just never know. Life can change in a blink of an eye. You could be
That's right.
healthy today and tomorrow you're not. And unfortunately things happen. Life happens. But
Exactly.
you have to be prepared for those moments. And sometimes you're scared to ask for the help because, even if you're young, like you're like, oh, why do I need that right now? But then the time when you don't have it, you're like, oh man, I could have had, insurance for Medicare because now I'm turning 65 and now I don't know how I'm going to pay these bills because insurance doesn't always cover everything.
Exactly. Exactly.
So you have to be prepared, because Uncle Sam is going to keep collecting and you're going to still get those letters from the medical bills. So
Exactly.
if
For
you
sure. And I
come,
think the biggest thing with what you just said, Natasha, is that not only are we scared of, having something set for ourselves, but sometimes these conversations are difficult and
yeah,
people don't like to have these conversations.
mhm,
Finances, not everybody can talk about their finances. Not everybody can talk about what's going on at home. Am I protected? Is my family, do I have the proper protection? So
yeah,
these are conversations that are not the easiest conversations to have.
mhm.
And so, yeah, it is something that we need to be open about.
Yeah, and there's always ways because there are companies that are out there to help you even debt consolidate.
Yes,
Where you could be making X amount of dollars, but if you're spending every single penny and you don't
yes,
know where your money goes, well, there's financial advisors that are out
right.
there, and it's about
Yes,
asking for help. You know,
exactly.
it's just you just never know. Like there's so many things. Even when I started, I never knew that I needed because I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm using their space, so I'm protected, but not. But you don't know how much you're protected. What if you
Exactly.
slip and fall, or somebody else who is at your event slips and falls? Now who's at fault? Now they're going to sue you. They're going to sue the venue. Like, knock on wood, that's never happened to me. But at the end of the day, you know,
Yes,
you just
yes.
know. So why not protect yourself now for your future?
Yes, and I think the biggest thing what you just said is also do we have the proper protection? I mean, we can have protection, but is it the proper protection for us? So yes,
Absolutely. And if it's not, you can always shop around. You can always
exactly.
tell the person, hey, what about this? Or give
Yeah,
them options, no pressure. Whenever you're
yes,
ready, we're here for you, you know?
exactly, for sure. Yes.
So, my next question: what is the most common misunderstanding people have about planning their legacy?
Great question. Well, most people think that legacy planning is something that you do later.
Mhm.
You're older and for the wealthy,
Yeah,
only wealthy people
yeah,
plan,
right.
right? The truth is that legacy is about alignment.
Mhm,
It's aligning your values, it's aligning decisions,
mhm,
and most of all, protection plan that can work together with you and your family. If your family wouldn't know what to do if something happened tomorrow, what would you do if, do you know what's going to happen? So at
mhm.
the end of the day, if they don't know, then your legacy is not complete.
Sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. And, unfortunately, there are situations where, you may have assets, house, car, but you didn't put it in the trust or you didn't put it
Exactly.
in like a life plan of life insurance and stuff. Now
Yeah,
you're fighting the system for something that belonged to your family.
exactly.
And
Yes.
it's a mess, and that happens to so many people who have
Yes.
businesses, who have assets, because you just wasn't prepared. They weren't
Exactly.
prepared to lose that parent or to lose that person, and now it's like, oh my gosh, like what is happening? So it's,
Yes.
yes, you're nervous to talk about what you have, but a proper advisor knows that there's a statute of limitations, just like a
Mhm.
doctor. They can't share those personal details with other people. So,
Absolutely.
and it's gonna help you out. Like nobody wants to talk about their debt. Nobody. But when you do, you feel good about yourself. When you see bills coming less and less and less, now you're like, oh, this is where I needed to be a long time ago. So
Yes.
just takes time and to trust the individual that you're working with.
Absolutely. Yes.
So
Got it.
now, how do you help someone start their life building legacy? The process, if they don't know where to begin, what is your first step when you meet a new client?
Well, I think we talked about it a little bit. I always start with a conversation. It's not about products. It's not about what insurance carrier you're going to need. First is having that difficult conversation. We talk about who depends on them,
Mhm,
what they want their family to experience if they're no longer with us.
mhm.
Um, their peace of mind.
Yeah.
Actually, what does peace of mind really look like to you?
Mhm.
Once there's clarity, the steps become simple. It's
Right.
protection, growth, and guidance.
Mhm. Mhm. Absolutely, absolutely. And then sometimes it takes a few conversations before they're like, "Okay, this is my time. I've already met with her a couple times. I trust that whatever program she's putting me in is going to benefit me." And obviously, when that moment happens, they're like, "Okay, I'm so glad." And sometimes, these policies, people think, "Oh, it's going to be so expensive." But no, there are some that are affordable and you can pay monthly. You don't have to pay all at once. Like,
Yes,
there's it's that sense of like I know that I have something to protect me and I don't have that stress on my head. Like,
yes.
is this, you know what I mean? Because you just never know when that moment happens and you need it.
Exactly. And you're exactly right, Natasha, because sometimes we think that, oh my God, I can't even afford it. But
Mhm.
can you really afford not leaving your family protected? But at
Right.
the end of the day is like, the conversation starts first. Where are you at now? Where do you want to be? What are your goals for retirement? What are
Mhm.
your goals for your future? When do you want to retire? All those things are put into place. And
Mhm.
and maybe you want to be at a good place. Maybe you want to be where getting monthly amounts that you get now, but you can't afford it right now.
Yeah.
We start somewhere. So they always ask me, when is the best time to start? The
Yeah.
best time to start was 20 years, 30 years ago. But the next best step is today. So if we don't start today with whatever financial situation you are, we can get you there. We can help you get where you want to be for
Yes.
sure.
And then your company is brokered with several. So can you mention some of them to our
Oh,
audience?
yes, 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 of course. So I'm a broker, as you said. So I do Medicare and also life insurance. So I am, as a broker, I have Allianz behind me. I have Lincoln National. I have Foresters. I am able to work with ethos, Corbridge. I mean, there's just global financial impact and global financial impact is it's actually exactly what it is. It's global. We're in Mexico. We're in Canada. We
Right.
are, in Europe. So
Mhm.
it's not just here. So we can help globally. So those are just some.
Oh,
But definitely, when we sit down, I'm not working for one company. So
right.
when we sit down and have that conversation, we're able to see which company is the best one for you for the goals that you want to be able to accomplish.
Cool, cool. And I also know that if you're ever interested in the insurance field,
Hmm.
she said she's a broker. If you are going to get licensed and you need a place to start and get some experience, Fabiola is your girl. Send her your resume, and you guys can
Yes,
chat because she's looking for
yes.
agents as we speak.
Oh,
So
yes, definitely. Hmm.
always ready to grow. That's part
Yes,
of Business 101, you know?
yes.
So, what role does financial planning play in a larger legacy strategy?
That's a great question. So, financial planning is the foundation. It's really the foundation that allows values to actually last.
Hmm.
Love without planning can still leave a mess. If
Yeah.
you can say you love someone, but if you don't plan to live in a good place, it becomes a whole mess. Insurance. And also insurance nowadays has living benefits. So
Mhm.
you don't have to die to be able to take advantage of what you're buying. So, God forbid an accident happens, cancer, whatever it is, you're able to pull from your life insurance now, living to be able to be at a good place. So those things are not planned. So an
Mhm.
insurance that has living benefits is definitely the way to go.
Absolutely. See, learn something new every single day. Uh,
Yes.
so thanks for the tip. Uh, so, what mindset shift do most people need to prioritize their legacy over short-term concerns? Truly, like what do you think?
Oh no, definitely. I think that the biggest obstacle that we need to be able to remove from our head, from our mind, from our soul is what's the cheapest, right?
Mhm.
Because sometimes when we go for the cheapest, it's probably not the one that's the best one for you. You
Yeah.
want to be able to protect your family long term, not just today. Legacy thinking requires responsibility over convenience. That's
Mhm.
huge.
That is
When
huge.
someone realizes their decisions today echo for generations to come,
Mhm.
those your priorities change. So, being able to leave what convenience for whatever the proper protection is for you is the best thing.
You're right. You're right. It's my mindset is everything, and it's not
Yes.
just in what your industry is. It's about the faith in your. It can be faith in God. It can be faith in yourself, faith in your business. And I feel like with what you're doing, you have to help people understand that
Hmm.
you know what, this is scary for me. I'm talking to this person about my life insurance. I'm still alive. You know,
Yes.
I'm getting
Yes.
and people some people are scared of getting older. Like, like the bones start hurting, all of that stuff, right? And then it
Yeah.
catches up to you and now you're 65 and you're like, oh
Yes.
my gosh, I have all these things I need to pay for and I gotta plan my life moving forward a little different. So
Mhm.
I think like everything is a journey, everything is a mindset. It's like if you really want to get the information, ask for it. And and you're not going to just leave them in the dust. You're going to give them pamphlets. You're going to give them information. You're there to call, if you need questions, if you have questions. It's not just a, okay, I did it, I'm done. No,
Yes.
it's a revolving thing that you can always ask questions and change
Yes.
the plan or add something else whenever you need to.
Right. Absolutely.
So my next question is, can heritage and legacy differ? And if so, how should a person balance the two?
Absolutely. It's a different animal. I would say it that way because heritage is what is given to you. A
Mm.
legacy is what you choose to build. So what we choose to build, you can honor your heritage while still rewriting the future. I work with many families who want to be a turning point, and this one hits home, Natasha,
Mhm.
because the reason that I do what I do is because I absolutely want to leave a legacy. You know, heritage is amazing. If I leave my home, if I leave my car to my children, if I, whatever it is that I leave, leaving a legacy is what has me in this field. And like you said before, we're always building, someone that wants to be able to help families build their legacy, not get a paycheck, because here is hard work, but
Yeah.
being able to work with families and help them build a legacy for generations to come, create protection, create an education, an
Mhm.
opportunity for the ones that stay behind is what we do.
100%, 100%. In my heart of hearts, heritage
Hmm.
is like what we when we were born, we don't know what culture we're going to be part of. We don't
Exactly.
know what our life path is going to be. But that's
Yes.
where like your mindset, your belief in oneself, um, the people you surround yourself with, the education you go out to seek, the jobs that you've taken, whether they were small or big, those develop who you are as a person. And I
Mm.
feel that as you interact with people, like you and I are both Rotarians, we give
Yes.
back to a higher purpose, service above self. And
Right.
and that's not the only thing we do volunteering. Fabiola, she donated so much things to other agencies throughout her years and time. And that's your legacy too, because they remember like all the good deeds that you've done under your business or even personally. Should you want to give back more, that's your choice. But the things that you do today follow you later. So if you build those
Exactly.
habits now, you
Yes.
get your, insurance now, then when you're older, you're not rushing to figure out, oh my gosh, what do I do now? You know?
Yes, yes,
So
yes. And you know what? With that, Natasha, sorry to interrupt. With that,
oh,
it brings a huge point because
go for it.
um, we're talking about life insurance, right? And we're talking about living benefits, but we're also talking about no longer being here, right? Do we have a plan for the ones that stay? But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, when we're no longer here, one of the biggest questions that I ask myself is, what do they want? What do I want people to think about me?
Sure.
What is the legacy? What is the legacy I want to leave behind? When they think about Fabiola Duron,
Yes.
what if Fabiola, how does she make an impact?
Hmm.
What impacted her life?
Yeah.
What did she do for the community, for her
Yeah.
friends, for her family? So yeah, huge legacy is huge. I
Yeah.
agree with
Hmm. And life is all about growth and learning, and who you surround yourself with. And we're both business women, but there's no
you.
competition between us. We
No,
learn from each other all the time. We both have been marketers for several different fields of work, but
yes.
there's a camaraderie, and and just like you will protect your employees, you're going to protect your representation of who you are in each
Yes,
client that you meet. And some
absolutely.
people will say no, and that's okay. That just means they're not ready. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And you don't give up on them, right? Because
Mhm.
right now they're not ready, but maybe a year from now they are, and they'll come and look for you,
Mhm.
because if you do your job well, they'll come back.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yes.
So, my next question: what are three actionable steps listeners can take today to start intentionally building their legacy?
So one of the biggest things that we've talked about, and I want people to remember, is first thing is being able to have that uncomfortable conversation with someone that you trust,
Mhm.
that you're able to sit down and really talk about, if you're no longer here, if something happened to you, what is it? What is the proper protection for you? So the first one is being able to get uncomfortable. Number two, second, get educated on
That's
protection.
true. That's true.
Yes, get educated. There's so many options. You guys have so many options.
Mhm.
Get educated. That includes living benefits. We talked about it.
Mhm.
Includes living benefits, not just death benefit.
Mhm.
And third, if I want to leave, three things, the third one would be surround yourself by advisors, by mentors that really make an impact in your life,
Mhm.
that that are about getting to know you and finding the proper protection and not a transaction. That's huge.
That's huge. That's huge. And sometimes, you know, there are organizations like that, networking groups that maybe one might not work for you, but another one will. And sometimes it's about just figuring that, trying things, because as a business, you're not going to just call somebody and you're like, okay, yes. Sometimes
Yes.
it's about that, like reaching out, yes, but also like building genuine, authentic connections and letting them know how you are. So people work with who they like,
Right.
they trust, and who has a good reputation.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so my next question, we have a couple more left. How do you, how do you help clients integrate legacy planning into everyday decision making, not just late life planning?
So, great. I think that that's a great question because, in order for us to be able to help someone, we connect with their financial decisions to their values. So
Mhm.
it's not Fabi's values, it's not Natasha's values, it's to their values. When a parent understands that protecting income protects memories,
Yes.
so protecting their income protects memories, and that's huge. I want to say that again. Stability and opportunities. Legacy becomes a daily mindset. I think we've been talking about mindset a lot.
Yes,
It's a daily mindset,
it is.
not a someday. Oh, someday a plan. Someday a plan. No, no. This requires a different shift for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, can you share a story when someone transformed their whole perspective on a legacy in a powerful way?
So I can mention several, but I think the one that I have picked is because young people think that they don't need protection. They're too young. They're going to live forever, right? But and I was working with a young family who
Mhm.
believed life insurance was for later, not now, later. I'm too young. I'm not even thinking about that. But after
Mhm.
walking through what would actually happen if income stopped, they
Mhm.
realized legacy wasn't about age. It was about responsibility. Today, they don't just have coverage;
Yeah.
they have confidence of their future. The
Mhm.
shift again, the mind shift from fear to empowerment. That's huge. They
That's
empower their life. Yes, is what legacy looks like in real life,
that's
and I can tell you, even my children are young. And just being able to look at their future. My youngest is only 23, already with a baby, and is
oh,
already planning. That's for me. He has his 2-year old. He's working on doing a plan for her. I mean, who thinks of a 2-year old having? But you're
usually
Exactly. So right now we're planning for her to, if she wants to go to school, that she has the money to go to school. If she wants to buy a house at 22, 26, she has the money that she can borrow from her life insurance to buy a home. If she has, if she wants to buy a car, if she wants to get a technical school, because nowadays, we want our children to go to school, but what about if they decide just to go to a technical school? Or what about if they decide to build their own business? All that is, so I'm very, very proud of our young families that are already planning. So that's what I would say.
exactly, it's happening in your own home too. So that's
Exactly.
crazy
Exactly.
because I mean, if he's thinking already about the
Yes.
future, that's huge. You know,
Right.
that is huge. So my last, second to last question: looking
Hmm.
forward 10 to 20 years, what do you hope people will remember most about how they live their lives?
Well, I would hope that they're remembered as people who didn't just work hard. So, and I'm going to tell you of me, right? When people remember me, I don't want them to think, oh, Fabi worked really hard to be where she's at, right? But that I planned wisely. That's huge. And I'm talking, I can tell you about my children. And when my children think about mom, I want them to think about, yeah, my mom was a hard worker, but she also planned wisely for us. People who choose protection over procrastination. That's huge because sometimes we say tomorrow, 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 right?
And it never
Um,
comes.
Purpose over fear. And that's huge. That's one, Natasha, that I work really hard
I
over. It's being able to have a purpose and not fear. Mis miedos, mis miedos are huge.
yes,
And impact over comfort. Impact over comfort. That's
that
big for me.
that's huge.
That's, yes, that's the legacy that truly transforms lives.
Absolutely, 1000%, my friend.
Yes.
So my bonus question: what inspires you daily? What
What
is
what what
what?
inspires me every day? Okay. So what inspires me every day is to be able to not only do it myself, not only me helping others or build their legacy, but inspiring others to also help build legacies. Because I would love to build legacies for every single one that is watching us right now. Because I know you have a huge people watching. But at the end of the day, being able to build an agency that not it is not doing transactions, that is actually building legacies would be my goal, would be my what I would want us to be able to build. Other people that are wanting to.
You're already making an impact, little
Yes,
little by little, day by day, but you're keeping it going, and you're not letting anything stop you. Which that's the hustle, but the
yes.
hustle is not because you are looking to. I mean, obviously, there's monetary gain in everything someone does
Mhm.
for business, but
Oh, of course.
there's a heart behind it. It's the
Yes,
value of teaching the people about getting their
yes,
finances together and just building, something for their future, for their families, for themselves. And it starts today. You can't, the more you procrastinate, the more it's like you're going to be rushing for something that could have been better if you just asked for the help.
exactly. I agree. I agree. And with that, also, just to close, I mean, with all those listening, if you feel the calling of helping families, definitely this is a room, and the table for that. Legacy builders are needed,
Yeah.
and not just insurance agents. So I would like to close with that.
100%. I love that. Well, it's been an honor to have you on, and I learned so much. And I thank
Awesome.
you so much for taking the time. And for anybody who wants the replay, they can go to at One Self Consulting on social media and on YouTube. You can follow Life Building Legacy on their social media platforms as well.
Yes.
And I'd like to leave with one quote. And the quote is: take one step today that your future self will thank you for. Signing
Uh,
off, Natasha. Have a wonderful day, Fabi, and I know I'll see you soon. So,
yes.
so you
Thank you
guys
so much.
take care and happy Friday.
Yes. Happy Friday. Bye bye. Thank you.